In this video, I'll show all my dividend income for the month of August. I'll also reveal my biggest premium bond win I've ever had, and if you stay to the end, I'll discuss everything I've been buying and selling this month. For the last 14 years, I've been investing mainly in UK large cap companies which I hold for the long term. I reinvest the dividends back in and allow them to compound over time. More recently, I've added a range of index tracking ETFs to increase diversification. I tend to ignore the constant swings in share prices. Instead, I focus on the dividend payments. Watching them increase and accelerate is very motivating. My ultimate goal would be for my monthly passive income to actually exceed the wages from my full-time day job. I don't know if I'll achieve that, but I'm enjoying the process wherever it takes me. First, I'm going to go back in time to 2009, the year it all started. In the August of that year, I didn't receive any dividends at all. Also nothing in August 2010. But in the following August, I received £100 from National Grid, and in the August of 2012, I received £275 from National Grid and Vodafone. Let's return to 2023 to see how far we've progressed. This video should not be considered investment advice. I'm simply showing you my own journey. Investments can fall as well as rise, and your capital is at risk. On the 1st of August, I received some cash from United Utilities. The shares are down 8.6%. The dividend yield is 4.9% spread over 2 payments a year. As you can see here, United Utilities is one of those companies which has a good track record of raising their dividends year after year, which is a very good sign. This month, United Utilities paid me a total of £230. If you want to know how much I hold in each company, then I've put the totals in a video description. On the 2nd of August, I received some passive income from Tate and Lyle. The shares are more or less unchanged this year. The dividend is fairly low at 2.6%, but apart from a blip in 2022, the dividends have been fairly stable. Tate and Lyle sold one of its businesses last year and is now a smaller, more streamlined company. This month, Tate and Lyle paid out a total of £130. If you enjoy these videos, then please hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. On the 9th of August, I received a cash payment from National Grid. The shares are down slightly this year. The dividend yield is 5.7% spread over 2 payments a year. You can see here that the company has a great track record of growing its dividends. This month, National Grid paid out a total of £535. And speaking of energy, if you want to save money and are thinking of changing energy providers, then you might want to take a look at Octopus Energy, who I've used for over 2 years. They've been recommended by Which for 6 years in a row, and if you sign up using the link in the video description, then we could both get £50 of credit. On the 18th of August, I received some dividends from British American Tobacco. They have had a tough year, however, down nearly 23%. The dividend is 9% spread over 4 payments. Apart from a couple of blips, the dividends have had a good track record of growth. This month, British American Tobacco paid out a total of £220. On the 25th of August, I received some cash from Greencoat Wind Energy. The shares are struggling a bit this year, down nearly 10%. The dividend yield is 6% spread over 4 payments. The dividend history looks impressive, with the company able to grow the dividend each year. This month, Greencoat paid out a total of £120. On the 31st of August, it was the turn of Unilever to reward its shareholders. The shares are down 4% this year and the yield is 3.6% spread over 4 payments. Unilever has a pretty good track record of growing the dividends and it's one of my favourite companies. This month, Unilever paid out a total of £295. If you are thinking about starting your own dividend journey, then why not check out Trading 212, which is a really cost-effective platform to buy and sell shares. And if you sign up using the link in the video description, then we could both get a free share worth up to £100. And now for premium bonds, and the biggest win I've ever had since I started buying them more than 8 years ago. The prize rate for the September draw is increasing to 4.65%. There is 1 draw a month. You have easy access to your money and there is a chance to win £1 million each month. All winnings are tax-free. Just a word of caution here that the more you have invested in premium bonds, the closer you should get to the 4.65% prize rate with average luck. This month I won 5 prizes, £25, £50, £200 prizes and a £500 prize, giving me a grand total premium bond win of £775. The bar on the left shows how much I would expect to win from premium bonds so far this year with average luck, and the bar on the right shows what I've actually won in the first 8 months of the year. It's been a great result so far. So how do premium bonds with this new higher rate compare to leaving your money in a savings account? Well, let's take a look. We will assume you are saving £50,000 in each case and withdrawing the prizes or interest. With premium bonds, the maximum you're allowed to save is £50,000 in any case. In September, the prize rate is going up to 4.65%. There is no tax to pay on your winnings, and with average luck, you would expect to win £2,325 in prizes per year if that rate stays the same. Now let's look at the second scenario. If you are a lower rate taxpayer and have £50,000 in a savings account paying 4.65% interest, you would receive £2,325, but you are only allowed to receive £1,000 of this tax-free. The remaining amount will be taxed at 20%, giving you a net return of £2,060. It gets worse if you are a higher rate taxpayer, as you only have a tax-free allowance of £500. The rest is taxed not at 20% but 40%, with a net return of £1,595. For an additional rate taxpayer, there is no tax-free allowance at all, so all your interest will be taxed at 45%, leaving you with a net return of £1,279. So on average, what interest rate do you currently need to have in order to beat premium bonds with £50,000 invested? If you are a lower rate taxpayer and a savings rate of 5.4% interest would on average beat premium bonds. For a higher rate taxpayer, you would need to find a rate of 7.1%, and additional rate taxpayers would need to find an interest rate of 8.5%. So for some investors, maxing out on premium bonds might be a good idea. There is also the fun and entertainment aspect of premium bonds, which should not be underestimated. I use premium bonds as my emergency fund, so I'm hopefully never forced to sell my shares and I can allow my dividends to compound over time. And now for the overall summary. The green bars on this graph show my passive income for the first 8 months of last year, and the blue bars are for this year. The total passive income for the month was £2,305. Last year this totalled £8,875 for the first 8 months. This year I've reached over £11,000. This graph shows my average dividend monthly totals year by year since I started my journey in 2009. All the dividends I receive go back into the market. Each pound is like a little employee working for you. At the time of this video, I'm receiving an average of £1,200 a month, and this doesn't include premium bond prizes. This is purely dividends, and because I make good use of a stocks and shares ISA, all my dividends are tax-free. My next target is to reach £1,300 a month, and I'll slowly work towards it. It's like climbing a mountain but only looking at the next step without looking up. I'll shortly be revealing what I've been buying in August, but first a quick look at the FTSE 100 ex-dividend dates for the month ahead. Here are the published ex-dividend dates at the time of this video. If you own the shares before the ex-dividend date, then you are entitled to the dividend which will be paid to you on the payment date. As an example, I own shares in British American Tobacco, which goes ex-div on the 28th of September. I'll be entitled to 57.72 pence for every share held, and this will be paid to me on the 3rd of November. And here are all the payment dates. September is a massive month for dividends, and I'll receive payments from all the companies highlighted. These dates are only for the companies in the FTSE 100. I also own some in the FTSE 250 and several ETFs. And now for the highest yields, with Vodafone leading the way at 10.8%. With very high yields there is always a risk of a dividend cut, and if this happens the price tends to fall as investors become worried. This happened to the house builder Persimmon earlier in the year. Persimmon has had a tough time and is about to be relegated out of the top flight and down into the FTSE 250. The average yield of the FTSE 100 is around 3.9%. So what have I been buying in August? It's a very similar picture to last month. I've added more to Diageo. This company has strong brand loyalty and is a virtual monopoly. As you can see here, Diageo is able to raise its dividend consistently. I've also added more to my FTSE 100 ETF, as it's been suffering a dip in recent months. This ETF gives you exposure to the complete index. Here are the largest companies you would own. The ticker code for this ETF is called ISF, and the yearly ongoing charges are just 0.07%. Dividend yield is 4.1% spread over 4 payments a year. I've also added more to my S&P 500 ETF, which gives exposure to the 500 largest US stocks. The ticker code for this one is IUSA. Ongoing charges are just 0.07%. Payments are quarterly and the annual yield is 1.3%. And finally, I've added more to my Vanguard All-World High Dividend ETF. This comprises nearly 1,800 mid to large cap companies from across the globe which pay higher dividends. Here are some of the largest companies you would hold. Ongoing charges are 0.49% and the yield is 4.1% spread over 4 payments a year. Some good global diversification as well as decent dividends. And now for the sales. Oil and gas has been dominating the portfolio in recent years, so I've given BP and Shell a slight trim to rebalance the portfolio. Dividend investing takes time and there is no shortcut to success. In 1994, 2 of the finest mathematical minds on the planet claimed they had found a magic formula to make unlimited sums of money quickly on the stock market without taking any risk at all. Find out what happened next when they unleashed it upon the world.